So we all know I'm a big fan of challenges, and I love doing things in Neomonsters in ways that, you wouldn't normally do with this game. So of course, this new hardcore challenge gave me a lot of enjoyment, let's say, because I'll just explain it. So what you had to do is you had to beat extreme level in Mythic Coliseum. It would have been 6 total times. You had to do it twice per Mythic, and you could only use 4 monsters. And you couldn't use duplicate monsters. So like what that means is I couldn't take like Hawk Knight, for example, with Tenebris and Torrentide and like Doom Engine to every single battle. You have to change it up every single time. So that's what made this difficult, is you had to do it twice and you had to use different monsters each time. So you're basically using, was that 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 different legendaries, or I guess they could be super epics. You're using 18 different monsters with the Mythic that comes along with it. So your team is just going to be the 3 monsters and then the Musharu that turns into the Mythic. And so this challenge was just really cool. It was fun to try and use different strategies. This specific battle was before the update, which just happened. So my Dolphreeze and Dolphoon had the regular Dolphin Bond instead of like Dolphin Bond Alpha and Beta. And that one turned out pretty easy. A lot of people had stun and a lot of people had chrono moves. So Dolphreeze and Dolphoon were very, very effective. But here I lost my Infernicorn pretty much immediately, which was unfortunate. Also, if you look at Asterios, his neck is like stuck in the looking up position, which is just kind of a funny glitch. But I basically had to do this entire battle with 2 monsters instead of, or not 2 monsters, 3 monsters instead of 4, which was very difficult. But of course, Pitygon is a beast, and Hawk Knight's actually not bad either. And of course, I mean, Asterios, you get him charged, and there you go. But this was not easy. This battle specifically, I decided to protect there with Hawk Knight. I'm worried about this poison because the one thing, like specifically keeping Asterios winning, basically, is the fact that he has hold ground. There I was going to link Poison Eater Nectarian, but then Asterios skipped. So luckily I just had Link Bloodthirst charged, which is, doing fine. I have 2 moves that are killing at 51 seconds. There I thought about killing Jaguardian, but wanted to have a setup to kill Moku when he came in. But unfortunately that skip meant Jaguardian was able to double Retribution and kill my Pitygon. So now I am solely relying on Hawk Knight and Asterios. And of course, one of the monsters on the field has Death Revenge. So I stun him out of play, and I Chrono Killer the Crimseus, give him an Asterios, use Hawk Knight to kill Moku, because I know the Mythics are boosted. Now I don't even have Link, because it's just half and half at this point. But this Blood Fury is able to kill Jaguardian. Nectarian finally kills Hawk Knight, and I'm really worried here, because if I kill Gorgawing, then I'm just going to be put to 1 health, right? And there, since Asterios was far enough out of play, I didn't get poisoned, so I did kill Gorgawing because I knew the Death Revenge would hit me, and I could just heal up from Link Bloodbite. This next one, we're moving on to Cyperdress now. I used a Link Storm team, of course, because Link Storm's broken. And so this Bulbabasher did Ally Substitute, which is great for me, considering I had 2 true hit monsters on the battlefield. But of course, I come up against another Gorgadrake, which is just scary. And I decide to skip, let that Rockoid die off to the Poison Tick. Bulbabasher dies so that I can use Time's Up with Ryzen to kill those 2 monsters. And then I lose my XYZ to Gorgadrake, which is actually okay because of the Valzarane that he had next in line. I take off the shield, and here I don't want anybody to get a turn, so I stun Blitz, give the turn to Valzarane because I know he can't really do much. And the double Poison Drain means I can Overwatch with Ryzen again. And now there's 3 monsters on the battlefield with Death Revenge, so I just had to be really careful with who I killed when. And I decide there, go for the Time Strike double, take the Death Revenge from Gorgadrake. Either way, I would have been able to kill the Puff Oxen. And in our next battle with Cyperdress, I came up against this Harleking, who was a little bit scary just because he's a strong monster. And Orazar also is scary. But I did have this Vixiguard, Link Storm, easy way to put people to sleep. Bunker Beast, easy killer. I didn't want to use the instant just yet, but I still wanted to take out this Catmander. I was just scared. There, I really thought Crescendo Blast would do more damage, but Tarazuo does have defensive mode, so that was just something to keep in mind. The reverse there actually comes in clutch, and here I really tried to go around the Protector to get Leogeist to get a turn, but it didn't work. Oh well. I go for the double Counter-Strike instead of the true hit because I also wanted the Titan Moth. Is that his name? I forgot already. But I wanted him to die as well, because if I just used the Crescendo Strike and it missed, then he would have gotten a Desperate Stampede. You all understand. Crescendo Strike is just starting to ramp up here, and luckily Cyperdris is able to do some shenanigans with excessive force to give Leogeist a bunch of turns. These epics, I forgot what they're called, starters, are not doing enough damage to kill Leogeist, so I'm able to clean up. The stun counter from all their stun revenges was nice. Now, Grimoris, I will have to say, was hard to do. This was by far the hardest part. Not because I used a bunch of really good monsters at the start, but just because Grimoris's power comes from her entrance, right? It comes from putting somebody to sleep immediately and coming in and having a target with Quell to put somebody to sleep and just take over the battle that quickly. But when you're using her in the front line, she can't really do any of that because nobody has kills and she's not entering the battlefield. So it was just kind of difficult to find teams that worked. I actually tried a couple times with like different things. I was just messing around, trying to use fun strategies. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you need to do something with few monsters, you use Tenebris and you win. That's just kind of how this went. So I did use Tenebris. I was trying to avoid using him in the beginning since, you know, you can only use a monster once. But Grimoris was the last Mythic. It was going to come down to this eventually. The Rockoid, of course, I'm going to keep there. And Grimoris actually has Bloodbath, which I decided not to use because I wanted to keep as much control as possible because, like you saw with that husking, his entrance and then the show of power kind of really messed me up because Tenebris and this team without the Spectre Fox on the field didn't have any sun protection. So I'm just trying to be really careful with who I bring in and when I bring them in. But I am down to his last monster. Go for the Dream Grush on Bobble Basher, but it misses. Doesn't matter. Kills the Rockoid. Sneak Attack will kill Arachna Diva, and Bloodbath cleans up. And this final battle here, I just went in with strong monsters just because the Stealth Fan actually goes around and kills my Torrentide. And I was really scared that Torrentide was going to get killed again. But spoiler alert, he doesn't. I used to use Torrentide in, like, Ultimate Challenge. I actually don't remember. Before I was getting, the top ranks in Ultimate Challenge, I would use Torrentide. That was a little unfortunate that I lost my Nova Drake right there. But Torrentide, he would win battles for me, but it was in the way that, all the monsters left on the field had AoEs, and it was like a Drakazord. And so I would just have to, use Ultra Wave so many times on this boosted Drakazord, and the Ultra Wave was doing 40 damage, but it killed him eventually, It was just one of those situations of patience. And this was honestly another one of those scenarios. I did not know if I was going to win, but I've seen Torrentide win battles before, so I didn't give up. Because, Timberlord, he's either going to Ultra Stone or he's going to Throw All. Tricranium, it is impossible for him to kill any of my monsters unless there's only one Torrentide left. Rock Colossus, of course, is going to be able to kill me. Spectre Fox, of course, is going to be able to kill me. Timberlord sometimes does Ultra Stone, sometimes does Throw All. I really don't know what determines which one he does. I honestly don't understand the AI at all, because why would they not target the one that hadn't cloned yet? But hey, I'm not complaining. This Freeze Cobra comes in. I'm not worried about it because of Poison Gas. That's kind of going to be... He's going to use that, or he's going to use one of his poison moves, which is fine as long as he didn't hit 4, and there he didn't hit 4. Nova Drake could use Time Strike, but none of these people are going to be at high enough seconds where the AI is going to do that, so he's just going to Assisted Dusk, and that doesn't scare me. I decided to take the Death Revenge from Timberlord because I had enough control with which Torrentides had cloned at this point. Willowworm, not worried until he gets Survivor charged, but he just stun flashes and goes way out of play. Moku, also not worried, other than the fact that he can just give me a Bronze Shell like he did there. So I decided to use Blood Crave, kill off my one Torrentide, and also kill his Nova Drake. Death Gazer goes for Poison Storm, so I'm not super worried about him from the gate. but I know he will start to use Poison Touch. I've lost to Death Gazers before with Torrentide, so I know who the threats are. There, I was worried he would hit 4, but he didn't. And this is just about to wrap it up. The Ultra Stone is going to give Willow-Worm, make him a target for Slayerbane. And now it's just about cleaning up the Tricranium with Ultra Wave or Blood Crave. And that completes this hardcore challenge. So I beat the expert level of Mythic Coliseum twice without using repeated monsters. This was the final team, Torrentide the God. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.